This is the future of cinema camera dollies. A new beast is on the prowl here in Fort Worth, and it's the Panther Film Equipment S-Type. This video is going to go over everything you need to know to get started with this unit on set. We had several options when we were looking into bringing the first proper dolly into Fort Worth. And when we started looking into the Panther S-Type, it just seemed like a match made in heaven. I mean, what better dolly for Panther City than a Panther dolly? Let's do a little backstory. German film equipment company Panther has been making electric dollies since the 1980s and are a well-known international brand, especially in the European market. Known primarily for their Euro-style center column dollies, the S-Type is their first boom-style model, leaning into a more familiar design for us Americans like the Fisher or the Chapman-Leonard style. The Panther S-Type is fully electric with wireless control, motion control arm, plus a load of other features. Here's everything you need to know to start rocking the Panther on set. We usually send our S-Type out in the rolling hardshell case that comes with the unit, which is great for rolling on or off a truck and allows you to ride other cases and gear on top of it while stowed. It's got smart wheels on all four corners, so just be aware when you're loading or unloading on the liftgate that if you're not on a level surface, the case wants to roll to the side off the gate, even if the front wheels have the brakes on. So just make sure you've got at least two folks with hands on it to keep it from rolling. To get the dolly out of the case, break the smart wheels and pop open the door. You'll see the skids you'll fold out as a ramp for the dolly. Before you start rolling the dolly out, check under and around to make sure everything is clear. Usually we have the steering column stowed between the wheels under the dolly, so pull that out and set it aside for just 1 second. Flip out the built-in lifting handles and carefully roll the dolly down the ramp. The case is designed to have the dolly be lined up with the ramps and roll right off. Take the steering column and insert it into its slot. To keep the dolly lined up on the skids, we keep the wheels in fixed mode to keep the wheels straight. You'll take this 8mm key to click it into steer mode so that the wheels engage into the steering mechanism. Pretty much every critical bolt on the S-Type that you would need to change during a shoot is going to be 8mm, and this awesome 8mm key just lives in its little slot on the top side of the dolly. The dolly comes off in narrow mode, so you'll want to mount the control column backwards and then spin the wheels around to be in the standard track mode. Now that you're in track mode, you can hit the brake and add the rest of the accessories. The hand controller slides right onto the steering column for easy access, more on this later, and you'll either plug it in to charge it or leave it cable free.
Yay, wireless!
The seat can pop into any of the accessory ports along the side of the dolly. You can adjust the height, rotation, and reach. I like to leave it a little loose so that the operator can find where they want to be and easily swing it out of the way. Like any dolly with a boom arm, always be mindful of the arm and make sure no gear or limbs get caught in the crunch zone. Just practice good communication with your operator and be safe. It's not that hard, guys. To put the chops on, you'll use these brackets that screw into the sides. I find it easiest to screw the brackets in and then slide the chops on. Make sure you put the front brackets on before you slide the side chops on, and be sure that the clamp on the front is loosened. Slide it in and then just tighten the screws and you're good to go. If you want, you can use the trusty 8mm wrench to tighten further, but I usually find that just doing it hand tight is more than enough and easier to get off. You can either put the chops in low mode or flip the brackets and ride them in high mode with these inserts to block the wheel gap. Big note with the chops that you need to be mindful of what your down limit on the arm is so that you don't break anything. I would recommend setting that before you put the chops or the offset on. More on this when we talk about the controller. You'll want to put your Euro to Mitchell adapter on so you can attach a fluid head. The kit also includes a 2-foot offset arm that can easily swing around as needed. If you're needing extra height, our kit also includes a bazooka set to add an additional 3-ish feet on the top of the boom. Here's some quick specs for weight capacity. The arm can take up to 175 pounds directly to the center of the boom, or up to 66 pounds on the 2-foot offset. The ride capacity on the dolly itself is about 1,700 pounds, so you can fit half the crew on it if you want. With flagship cinema cameras being so light now, we've never had a problem with weight capacity. We've even flown our Sony Venice 2 with a cinema zoom and an O'Connor head with no problems, and it's just fine. Now that we've got that built, let's talk about the steering modes and operating the boom. To change drive modes, press this blue tab button down and twist the right handle of the steering post like a motorcycle throttle. You can quickly move between round and crab modes, which this dolly is designed to default to. If you have a specific need for rear or even front steer, you can lock the front or rear wheels to be fixed in round mode as desired. This is probably the most unfamiliar part if you're not used to electric dollies. All of the functions for the boom are controlled via the wireless handset. To operate the boom, we need to power the dolly on by flipping this switch, then the controller by pressing and holding the power button. There's not a specific order you have to do this in. It will pair either way. I just always find that it pairs faster if you turn the dolly on first. Once the controller is booted on, it will give a connecting notification, and then the Wi-Fi symbol will go blue when connected. If the wire is plugged in, it will show a blue charging symbol instead. Hopping into the controls, the first thing you're going to want to set is your down limit. This will prevent you from bashing or breaking anything by accident. The X-Type is exceptionally well built, and the only way you're gonna break it is with itself. Click the limit button and carefully use the rocker to bring the arm down as low as you want, and then click the down button to set the limit. You can do the same with the up limit, and you can select option to edit or delete those marks. Next, the two main functions you'll be changing is the speed and the ramp. For speed, click the speed button and then select between 1 and 5 for preference. The ramp function is probably the best feature about this dolly. Instead of having to feather the control knob like you would on a traditional pneumatic system, you can program how soft you want the landing to be. To get super advanced, you can go into the program mode and make custom moves, and there's two ways to do this. First is to manually set marks. Click Program, New Marks, then boom to your number 1 mark and click OK. Then guide the boom to your number 2 and click OK again. Then select your speed by pressing the up or down buttons, then your start ramp by paging over, then up and down, then page over again to set your end ramp and press OK to save. Exit back to the program menu and select Start Existing Program to select your program, and then Initialize to reset to 1. Then hit go and run the motion. You can delete old programs to keep it simple. The second and more useful way, in my opinion, is to go into the New Motion section. This allows you to record a move up to 120 seconds and save it for replay. Find your start point and hit OK to start recording, and then do your move and hit OK to save. Find the move in existing programs, initialize, and go. There are some more advanced features like super low mode, which allows you to completely invert the boom, but we'll go into that another time or upon request if your production specifically needs it. An amazing feature of the S-Type is that it doesn't need a skate wheel sled. With its built-in skate wheels, you can roll it right onto any standard size dolly track. Just flip out the pickup handles and pop one side, then the other onto the track, and you're good to roll. This can be a bit easier if you lock the wheels into fix. Once it's on the track, one of the great things is that the built-in brake also works on the track as well, so you don't have to drop a sandbag like an old school system. If you want to get fancy, you can also mount the dolly sideways on the track for more lateral moves. You want to unlock the wheels and turn them so that one side has both of the brakes facing in and the other side has both of the brakes facing out. Okay, so future wheel here. So I figured this out better when I was shooting the B-roll for this. To get it into the side mount track mode, the easiest way to do that is just to turn the steering column 90 degrees, lock two of the wheels in diagonal, and then spin the steering column around 180 degrees, and then lock on the diagonal again. And then you should be set up for two of the wheels have the brakes out and the other two wheels have the brakes facing in, like you'll see in these shots. That way it's the right distance to fit on the track in the correct configuration. Then to get it out, just do the same thing. Put it to 90 degrees, switch it into steer, 180 degrees, switch it into steer, and you should be good to go. One thing you should really note is that you need to remember what position the steering column is when you're doing this, because when you're gonna go back to put the wheels into steering mode again, that steering column needs to be in the same place. So I've forgotten to do this and then wasted a lot of time trying to get the wheels back into the right orientation. Believe me, you're gonna save yourself a heck of a lot of time and a lot of swear words if you do this. I find that you don't have to do all four sides at once like you would when you're throwing it up on skate wheels. You can just pick up one side, pop it on the dolly, and then pick up the other side and roll it right on there. The S-Type will work on any standard track, but we also happen to carry the Panther Precision Leveling Track, which allows you to ditch the cribbing and wedges and level with the telescoping risers. Some dolly grips I've talked to have had some concerns about the battery life on the Panther, and the reason I waited till the end to talk about them is because that should be the least of your worries. With the cells we've installed in these battery housings, Panther says you'll get 2 full days of use. We've had them last up to 4 days and beyond, and that's including booming the arm up constantly. And a great thing about the electric system is that there's no more stopping to pump the dolly arm up after every 7-ish booms. We've never had to stop to charge the batteries during short shoots, and the kit comes with 2 sets of batteries, so you'll be plenty juiced up for many happy days of filming. That about wraps it up. Make your sacrifice to the algorithm gods below. Tell me how I was doing it all wrong. If you're watching this video because I sent it to you because you're renting the Panther, comment rent it below and I'll give you a special gift. If you're interested in renting the Panther or any other premium piece of cinema equipment here in Fort Worth, please hit up our website at shinecine.com, subscribe to our channel, and until next time, roll 'em, cowboy.